Hello! Hello! Welcome Saturday night. Welcome all my fine aviation enthusiast friends. Welcome back to the best damn airplane show on the interwebs. Yes, sir! That's right. My name is Greg. I'm an internet pilot, and we are going to be flying this route tonight from Auckland, New Zealand to another part of New Zealand. Let me look at it so I can see. I'm not looking at the screen just yet. Give me one moment. Let me make this here screen smaller for y'all so I can show you the route. This plane just took off. It just landed recently. Here's this here flight. Let me get my old man laptop to cooperate. Air New Zealand flight 5409 from Auckland, New Zealand to Napier, New Zealand. Left gate 49. Just a little while ago, it took off on runway 23 left, went all the way down yonder, all the way to Napier. Landed on runway 34. I believe it did an RNAV landing. You see it's an ATR-72. 70 deuce. It flew at a cruising altitude of 16,000 feet. And as you can see here, it's only 2 flights. So, yes, sir. Maybe this was an AT-72, like 200 instead of an AT-72-600 maybe? I don't know. But we're going to fly what we have available in Microsoft. So I built it on SimBriefs already, and I carried it into Navigraph. And if you've seen my videos the last few days, you see me operating Navigraph and SimBrief. It's same principle. With this flight, this is no different. I just imported it in, and everything was done, except I had to add the approach. So we're going to leave New Zealand, fly on the Steel 2P RNAV takeoff. We're going to hit lakes. We're going to pass HN. We got Karba, Gosti, AP, Obdev, Genda, Pines, and then we're going to go ahead and hit this RNAV landing right here and land at NZNR. So that's our route that we're going to fly today. Let me unload this piece so I can bring it up on my iPad ski. That's right. Let me bring up the OBS. Hope everyone's had a good weekend. You ready to sit back, co-pilot this bitch with me tonight? If this is your first time looking at one of my videos, I certainly do welcome you to the show tonight. If this is not your first time here and you are returning to watch again, thank you very much. I certainly do appreciate it. That's right. So before you leave my video though, please click subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment, do all that stuff, because it takes a brief moment of your life to do that, but it certainly means a lot to me. I certainly do appreciate it. If you hear screaming, that is my daughter yelling at noobs online. I forget what she's playing right now. I don't know if it's Apex or Sea of Thieves or I don't know. She's playing some shit. She is making herself known tonight, that's for sure. All right, so all I have is a 72-600, so that's what we're going to stick with. So let's put the Air New Zealand livery back on this thing. And let's go to here. Let's go over to New Zealand. Where's New Zealand? I always have trouble finding this airport. Oh, there's Auckland. Maybe it's around here somewhere. Now, why do I have so much trouble finding this airport all the time? It should be around here somewhere. Is it? Hey, I found it. I didn't have to type it in tonight. All right, where is 49 or 48 or whatever the hell it took off at? All right, 40 ounces to freedom. Where are you at? 40, 40, 40, 47, 37. Maybe we don't have a 48 or a 49. I'm okay with it. I just need to know. All right, that's the 70s. That's the teens. That's 1. That's 90s, 90s, 90s. That's the 20s right now. 24 ski. All right, well, we'll just take off here at ramp 47. Now, I have not flown this plane in a minute, so I might be a little rusty with some of the stuff. Hopefully, I'll be okay. I really have been learning some of the ins and outs with the autopilot of the Antonov 225. I really want to do a video on that, but everything's in Russian on that plane, and that autopilot is kind of tricky. Some of the buttons have multiple. Some of the autopilot buttons have multiple duties. They do multiple things depending on which mode of autopilot you're in. So, I've been writing some notes. Studying up a little bit. Hello? Oh, hey. Did you call me?
I did, and you answered, but all you told me was Russian.
All right, sorry about that. I was sitting here talking to y'all, and I heard something in the background. Turns out I got a phone call that came in, and somehow I answered it while I was talking to you guys. I didn't even touch my phone. I don't know how this phone answered, but I didn't want to bore you with the details, so yeah, I just put y'all on mute for a quick minute. Anyways, let's get this plane set up and rolling. All right, let's see here. And let's get this here. Let's import the OFP. There you go. Very good. All right, let's go to aircraft. Let's get the tail prop out. Let's put some ground power on this motherfucker. Get some ground power up in this motherfucker. Isn't this the plane where I can click on the screens? Oh yeah, I can click on the screens. Yeah, I like this here plane. This plane good. All right, let's go ahead, fly plane again. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna set fuel. I like trying to do some of this before I turn the plane on, because sometimes this plane is a little moody and it doesn't like to turn the engines on. It doesn't like to turn the engines on when like you've been not paying attention to the engines. Like if you put the ground power on now and the battery and all that stuff, and you wait like 10 minutes to start the engine, sometimes them engines, they just don't want to start. So, all right, so let me plug in the fuel weight. That should be correct. Yeah, we got 19. So it's actually 1974. Our zero fuel weight is 17882. All right, that's close enough. All right, let's put in 1974. All right, we got 1974 day. We got 40 deuce passengers, according to Sim Brief. That's what we working with tonight. F cargo, we got about 1,000 in cargo. That's all right. Gross weight is 22, and takeoff weight here is 19.6. So we're a little heavy. We're a little heavy here. Gross weight 19.6. That's correct. All right, let's start loading it. Load the airplane. All right. And 17 is 50 is, I don't give a fuck. That's close enough. All right. Start loading. Fuel weight. All right, we good there. Set takeoff trims. Let me double check this here fuel again. Let's put in 1974 right here. 1974. Start loading. All right, we got the right amount of fuel right now. All right, flight plan. All right, we all good. Let's turn on this here. Let's turn on this here aeroplane. Let's go ahead and, you know what? Maybe we'll do this here tonight. Let's do evaluation.
Battery master switch on. MFC self-test complete. Parking brake. Engaged / press check. Altimeters. Set and check. Landing elevation.
We gonna pause you right quick, cause I don't like what I'm hearing from you. Why isn't that screen coming on? Man. Did I wait too long? Oh, maybe if I put on the outside power, maybe then these engines will, maybe if I do the right thing, maybe the right thing will happen. Let's see what the METAR says. So METAR for NZAA is Q1025. So we will set that here momentarily. Okay, 1025. Oh, 1025. There we go. All right. Now you can use this screen by touching on it. So if you click down here, it will hit an enter button, right? So we got that checked off. Altimeters are done. Landing elevation is good. Let's set the nav and all that. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over yonder. We're going to hit set flight plan, and that should throw it into here. Look at that. Looky. So let's go ahead to let's go ahead and click on this here, and let's put in our runway as 23 left, and we are doing ST2P. ST2P or not 2P? And lakes is our transition. That's done. Enter that in and hit that. And now let's go to NZR. And do we have ATR-74? Yep. And we are doing Agenda 2B. And Ohiti is our transition there. All right, so that is all set up. Let's get rid of that discontinuity. Where is that discontinuity coming from? Where is obdev in our flight plan here? Oh yeah, that's between that and agenda. Okay, so let's hit clear and hit this button here and hit execute, and now we are golden. All right, let's hit flight plan is good. Let's go to performance, runway landing, feet. How many feet is the runway? Let's look it up. It's 11,598. All right, so let's do 34 left. Oops. All right, 34 left. You're not taking it? All right, well then let's type in the, so that's 11,598, so 11,598. Dude, why aren't you taking my info? All right, cruising altitude is 16,000. All right, let's do this again. In it, let's go to pose in it first. Let's do that. Let's do that. Now we're good. Let's click return. Nav data, return. Flight plan in it. Turn. All right, weight is good. All right, performance in it. All right, let's try this again. One more again. Let's go one more time. 16,000. All right, we can click return. Units is good. Okay, very good. So now I don't know why it's not putting in the departure runway here. What happened to the flight plan? Maybe, did it knock out the flight plan? Oh, it sure did. All right, let's send it over again. Why did it do that? That is really weird. All right, so let's put in the runway again. And I have never seen that happen before. That is strange. Hope that's not a sign of things to come with this flight. All right, steel, lakes, and all right, let's plug in RNAV 34. agenda 2B, and Ohiti, and execute, and let's get rid of that discontinuity again. Clear. All right, execute. Altitude is... All right, so we're good there. But now let's go to performance and see if, okay, now that info is in there, very good. Cruising, let's put in 16,000 again. That was weird that it just went away. All right, let's see if the altitudes are in here now. Steel below 5,000, 7,000, 8,000. Offset. All right, let's see here. We got Lakes, Carl. Offset. I don't even see these waypoints in here. Oh, here we go. Okay. Yep, I see all that. Okay, good. All right. Lakes, then we're supposed to have Tolmi, but I don't see Tolmi in there. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay. All right, very good. All right, so we are all good there. So after offset, we'll go ahead and climb to 18,000 feet. I'm sorry, 16,000 feet. And we'll stay there until we need to start descending. I don't think it'll allow me to plug in. Let's see if it'll let me put in 3,000. I'm sorry, let's see if it'll let me put in 3,500 for Ohiti. Let's see here. Let's see if it'll let me put that in there. Ohiti, altitude cross, altitude constraint. Interesting. Huh. True wind, altitude, flight level. Interesting. Let me plug in like the wind for 10,000 feet and see if it takes it. I just learned something new. All right, so 230. Oops. We'll get ready to start the engines up after this and taxi out and get this flight going. But I want to try this out real quick. All right, 230,007, and then let's type in flight level 100. Ooh. Can I do 15,000 feet also? I wonder if I just found out how to input our winds in. 166. You know what, let's put our cruise wind in instead. So 165. 066, I'm sorry, 006, and that's at flight level 160. Very interesting. I had no idea you could do that. Speed constraint. Do we have a speed? Wow, we can put in speed constraints and all that? No shit. Yeah, max speed is 230 knots. Let's plug that in there. Let's see if we can do it. Oh, excuse me. Wow. And 3,500 is the altitude we're supposed to be at, so let's plug that in and see if we can plug that in too. Whoa! That is awesome! Yo, we just found out something new tonight. I had no idea you could do that shit. All right, let's get our engine started up so we can come over here and click this right here. Oops, not power off, dumbass. God, I do that shit all the time. Let's wait. Just wait a second for it to... That is really cool. I had no idea that navigation did that. Alright. Yeah, fuck that screen. Let's go ahead and bring up the checklist again. Oh, there we go. Alright, so we can click that. Fuel quantity is good. Engine, memo, power management is set to takeoff. That is good. Let's go to CDLs. That is the door lock. Cockpit door lock is off. Well, it's on. Alright, FMS, takeoff, trims, 3 axes. What is our takeoff trim? .5 up. I don't know if we can actually set it on this airplane. Actually, let me put the... Alright, I don't think it'll allow me to set the trim. Where's our trim actually show? Oh, it's already set. Okay. Alright, let's get the tail prop on board. The doors are closed. Let's turn on seat belts and beacon lights. Let's arm those. Alright, let's bring up, let's actually push back, and then we will go ahead and... I don't think I can push back in this airplane. I think I need to have the ATC turned on. Yep, alright. So, let's do that. Let's actually turn on APU. So, here's how you turn on the APU. Let me show you on the checklist. So before rotation, all right, that's what we just did. So setting up the APU is pretty simple. So turn this, right? Let's come here to prop brake and turn the prop brake on. And then let's turn on fuel pump 2, which is this one. Let's turn that on. Let's click start. All right, engine is firing up. Move this condition lever to feather. And now this engine is going to start now, but it's not going to rotate. So we'll start rotating the engine. We'll start rotating the engine here once we back out. So let's get the ATC on board here. So they can back us up. And we should get pushed back to, I guess, all right, ground service. Let's see here, request pushback. All right, steer to, I want to say steer to the left. Parking brake is off. Yo, what's good, bro? What's up, Red Kid? What's good? What's good is I was off of work this week. I mean, it was for really fucked up reasons, but I had to take some time off. But yeah, man, it's been outside of that, it's been a good week. It's Saturday night. I'm playing Xbox. I mean, life's pretty good. Life's pretty good tonight. I ate my favorite pizza for dinner. Had a good ass steak sub, half a steak sub actually. But yeah, but other than that, life was good today. That's for sure. I don't normally think we would taxi out into like the lane here, but it didn't really leave us much of a choice. All right, we can stop, push back. Let's put the parking brake back on. And let's go ahead and get rid of the ATC because there's no reason to have them. All right, let's go ahead and release the parking brake. And I believe that engine will spool up once we give it some power. All right, that's good. All right, what's our first constraint with the takeoff here? 7,000, 5,000. So let's put the flight director on. Oh, it was already on. All right. Let's plug in 5,000 feet. All right, let's put diesel on. Let's put nav on, logo lights, wing lights. You need to push this TRU button. All right, let's give it a, let's see what it says here. I know we need to give it a little bit of throttle here momentarily. All right, before taxi, recall, propeller brake off, yep. Condition levers 1 and 2 to auto. We already turned on to TRU. Flaps 15, nose wheel steering should be on already. All right, so let's put these up to auto. All right, so he's not spooling up just yet. I think I need to drop him back down. Or how did I get him to spool up before? All right, let's maybe we gotta click start again. Let's go ahead and restart that engine. All right, there we go. And now let's bring him to auto. Let's put our flaps down to 15. Let's turn on weather. All right, anti-icing. Where is it at here? Okay, so let's go to click surveillance. Let's turn on. TCAS is, we'll just leave it on auto. Let's click nav. Let's go to ND, traffic above, weather, that's good. All right, we don't need to turn that on. This here does it like, well, here I'll show you. It like shows us the ground. I mean, I guess we can leave it on, but it just, I don't like the way it blends in with the rest. It makes it hard to see some of the items on the screen there. All right, so that, and let's go to com. All right, let's click on this screen right around here, and let's confirm takeoff data. And it has our V speed. Yep, I see the 106 right there. Okay, V2 and normal, and we are pretty much good to go. Let's go to this pending list here. Let's clear out the checklist. All right, very good. Let's taxi to the runway. I think that's all good. And we can click on this one here. Or is it this one here? Oh yeah, this is the one I like. Yeah, I like this one for taxiing. All right, let's get the flock out of here. Let's turn our taxi lights on. I don't think there's anything else. TRU is on. What about that that start AB? I thought we had to turn that off. Condition levers auto. Yep, before takeoff, gust lock. Transponder is on already. Takeoff, I could have sworn we set that off. Flight warning. Starter selector. Oh yeah, starter selector off. Okay. Oh no, that's here. Fuel pump, starter selector A and B. Nope. Okay, that is correct. Okay. So we got to turn this off. All right, we can click nav. And our heading for the runway. You know, I don't know what company made the ATR. Let me look it up real quick. I have no idea. But I never heard of it before either until like maybe a month ago, and I saw it in the simulator store as an available plane to buy, and I was like, well, I like propeller planes, and they don't have like a Dash 8 Q400 or something like that. So I was like, well, let me check this thing out, and I had no idea it was like, it's the plane that flies from Tahiti to Bora Bora pretty much. You know, like taking people to that island. It's a plane that takes a lot of people to the Bahamas from like Fort Lauderdale and other parts of Florida. So I had no idea until recently. All right, let's see who makes the ATR. Oh, okay. Well, the manufacturer's ATR. Very good. Yeah, I never heard of them either. It just, you know, it got decent reviews for. I mean, most of the modded planes in that Microsoft store. I mean, most of them get pretty shitty reviews. But this one's okay. Well, thanks for telling me. I had no idea ATR made. I had no idea. But yeah, I mean, you don't see a lot of propeller planes flying anymore. You know, especially with this many passengers. I like propeller planes, especially I like the way they sound when you're flying in them. Oh man, that's crazy. He had a heart attack while he was flying a plane. That shit is, God, man, that's got to be scary as hell. Thankfully, I mean, hopefully. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What the fuck is a what's a tree doing there? What? That's got to be a glitch. That can't be true. Yeah, that's got to be scary as hell, man, to have a heart attack while you're flying the plane. I couldn't imagine, man. Like, I wonder if the passengers knew what happened, you know, and like they started freaking out. I mean, that's hopefully the co-pilot was competent and was able to land the plane and all that. But now I really haven't heard much news the last couple of days. I've kind of been a hermit the last couple of days. Why we slow down so much? Oh, that's not the runway. Runway's over here. Come on, airplane, let's go. Giddy up. Yeah, it does. There's actually an Embraer plane available in the Microsoft store that looks really close to this. But yeah, it does look like a mini Saab. What's it, a Saab 350 or something like that? I think it's a Saab 350. That's a cool little plane. I used to use that plane a lot when I would play RFS years ago. Well, good looking out, Shermy. I appreciate the heads up on all that. I'll have to look into that pilot thing. That's scary as hell, man. A pilot going out like that. Hopefully I don't know if he died or not. Hopefully he's okay. All right, let's go ahead and put the parking brake on. Let's go ahead and flick these bad boys on. Let's put some strobes on. Let's go ahead and move y'all up to. Let's take the gust lock off. And let me look at the checklist again for takeoff. All right, we did all that. We got TCAS on. Bleed valves are, you know, they are what they are. They're always on. Flap 0, power management. Yeah, climb, we got that. Takeoff lights, altitude, set and check. Okay. The only thing I need to look at is let me take a quick look and see what our transition altitude is. I think it's 15,000 feet in this region. 13,000 feet. All right. Right. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about Saab. I just remember that one Saab I used to fly with in RFS. I thought that was a cool little plane. But yeah, man, I wish there was more propeller planes flying around. I see quite a few of them actually where I live. I live just outside of Baltimore. And BWI has a decent amount of like private size propeller planes coming in, but yeah. In Aerofly, my favorite plane to fly is that Dash 8Q400. I love that plane in Aerofly. X-plane, you know, the Baron B-58 in airplane and X-plane was pretty good, but I like a lot of the propeller planes in this Microsoft simulator. I think my favorite one might be the Diamond Air DA-62, I think it's called. I think that's what that plane is called. All right, let's line up here. And is the yaw dampener on? All right, I'm sure it'll turn on once we get airborne. All right, let's roll. All right. This plane loves to put its nose up in the air. I've noticed, like, flying it a couple of times. Oh, I'll tell you another cool propeller plane that the simulator has that I bought recently is the Mitsubishi MU-22, I think it is. Whoa, which way am I supposed to be going here? No, I don't believe that. Oh, all right. And we'll make this turn. Yeah, but that Mitsubishi MU-2 is a really cool little plane to fly. And that Junkers JU-2, that Junkers plane, man, you got to do a lot of stuff in that airplane to get the autopilot to work. I mean, that plane is pretty wild with some of the things you need to do. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what would happen. I know what happens when you hit a bump on the runway that is invisible. The plane nosedives and crashes. That happened to me. I was practicing with the Antonov 225 the other morning, and I was rolling down the runway, and all of a sudden the plane hit some sort of invisible bump, and it threw the nose into the ground, and it crashed. All right, hang on. Let me turn this on and turn on IAS mode. And let's turn on the hang on a second, let me set this first, and then I'll continue to talk. 0 speed button. Okay. We are at... Okay, let's go here. Alright, is this thing lining back up with... It is, okay. Alright, so we're at 5,000 feet. I was flying the Cessna Longitude. Was it yesterday? Oh man, why is the autopilot shut off like that? That is so crazy. I landed the set. Sorry, I'm trying to do a couple of things at one time. I landed the Cessna Longitude, and I was hitting the brakes to stop, and it hit like some invisible window, or it hit something invisible, like a wall, and it just came to a complete stop and like turned on its side. I thought that was crazy. All right, let's see if you'll capture. All right, I think this thing needs to go into heading mode because it is giving us something. What is going on with this navigation tonight, man? right, looks like it's trying to catch the right waypoint. Let's reduce our throttle a little bit. Yeah, I'm close to hitting overspeed. I was trying to talk to, I was trying to talk to you and do a lot of things, but yeah, I was close to hitting overspeed. But yeah, no, I mean, when I landed, I mean, it was a soft landing. It was a good landing, and it was just a little bit off the center line. I was still on the runway, and all of a sudden, like, I hit the brakes, and it started slowing down, and just bam, it like hit something invisible. I don't know, maybe I was overspeeding, I don't know. I landed though. I mean, I was at like the speed that I was supposed to be. I was supposed to land around 111 knots, and I think we landed at like 115 knots. So I was pretty close. But yeah, for whatever reason, that happened. So a couple of, ever since this last update that they've done in Microsoft, there's been some weird things that have happened, like periodically with the simulator crashing and just doing some phantom shit. All right, let's click IAS so we can go up again. We're in climb mode. Let's put our thrusters back up a bit. Let's see what our automatic speed is. It still says 131. That's crazy. All right, let's put this at like 190. Not really sure what the climbing speed is supposed to be in this airplane, but first Discord was a text submission for. Yeah, well, JFK's. I don't know if it's his nephew or one of his relatives. Robert. I think his name is Robert Kennedy. He's like running for president now or some shit. He's been like going on all kinds of like news channels and shit like that, saying how, like, you know, the assassination was set up and it was all planned by, you know, like the CIA and all that shit. So I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever really find out the truth of what happened with all that. That's a long time ago. I wouldn't put it past the government to do some shit like that. I mean, you know, obviously these movies are made off of, I mean, some of this shit has to be a little true for some of these movies, but thank you very much. 170 knots. I thought it was something maybe in that range. That's why I put 190 in there, but 170 makes sense. Like with the Dash 8 Q400, I'm pretty familiar with that. The climbing speed is anywhere from like 210 knots down to like 175, depending on your altitude. But yeah, 170 makes sense. I just know the managed speed right now. Like this button over here, you have auto and manual. The managed speed is okay, well now it's 238. When I was climbing before, it was at 130, and I'm like, that's a little low. That's a little low for climbing, I think. All right, so we got Anasu. All right, let's put this thing up to 8,000 feet. Let's come over here, and so I can see the altitude. Well, thank you. 99 knots. Yeah, I think that was in the computer. This thing on the little tablet that it has, and on this screen here, it'll show the where's it at here? It'll have the landing speeds right here. So it's, yeah, 104 is what it's showing with flaps full. And then it also shows the where is it at here? Performance. So it'll have the V approach speed here too. And then you can put the conditions in as well. So let's look at the METAR again. It's still 125. Yeah, thanks for your help with the speeds. Yeah, I don't. I didn't know that. I'm no expert when it comes to these things. I just enjoy these simulators a great deal, and I like a lot of the technology behind them. And I just think, in another life, I would have been a pilot. I was just telling my son today that if I won like the Mega Millions or the Powerball, if I won one of those things, one of the first things I do is start working on getting my pilot license. I would love to be a pilot, that's for sure. All right, let's climb to 8,000 feet. Let's hit IAS. Let's put you back in climb mode. No, not you button, this button. And let's put this here at 170 for our friend Shermie. Let's go here. Well, it looks like we're going to get there before we get to 8,000 feet, so let's just put it up to 16,000 at this point. All right, and I wonder what managed speed says right now. Well, I'll be damned. Look at that. It says 170. Look at that. Thanks a lot, Sherm. Good looking out. I had no idea. All right, what again is our 13,000 feet is the altitude where we can turn off the, put it in standard. Yeah, man, good looking out with that. All right, let's give you some more juice. Let's turn off some of these here. All right, might as well go through all these. We already did all this. I think it's pretty cool, this procedure menu here. When you get to a certain point of the trip, it switches to, you know, like what procedure you're going to be on, like descent or takeoff or climb. Oh yeah, ice will really mess your day up, man, in an airplane. That's for sure. I mean, you got tons and tons of aluminum and bones and meat and people and gasoline, and you're slipping and sliding on ice. Yeah, man, that ice is ruthless, man. The ice takes no prisoners. Yeah, ice is something bad, man, that's for sure. And 1-4. All right, let's get ready to switch over to standard mode. standard mode is on. And let's set, let's go here, let's go to nav. Let's plug in the VOR that we're gonna hit. That's 114. The one after that is AP, that one is 116.7. I don't really think there's a point of doing this since we're in, you know, since we're not flying with, you know, localizers and things like that, but it's more stuff to play around with and practice on. All right, we are almost at our altitude. And is there, let me see here, VFR. Ah, there is a, oh, never mind, there's no VOR at the airport here. All right, so we're doing pretty much an RNAV landing. Well, you know, let me look at the other landings. Let me see if they, I wonder if they have a, they do have a VOR landing that we could do. Maybe we'll change that. VOR. So I don't really know if this airplane is set up for RNAV landings. Like you can't adjust, you can't adjust the threshold of the RNAV. Okay, we are at altitude. Let's put this in cruise mode. And we're supposed to go up to 212 knots. All right, that works for me. We'll just leave it in managed mode. Ah, Canada, yeah. Canada's cool with me. I like Canada. Well, you know what, I think I've been to Canada once. I think I was in Toronto, I think it was, when I was a kid, but yeah, man. I've known a lot of people from Canada over the years, man. They all seem pretty cool. I do love me some maple syrup, that's for sure. Alright, Uedi. VOR. Let's look at this landing here. So it does fly an arc. Alright, where does the arc start from? Because that would be kind of cool to do. Well, you know what? That'd be kind of hard to fly that DME arc. I'm looking at landings right now. Gimli glider. I wonder if it was Gimli from Lord of the Rings. I wonder if it was named after Gimli from Lord of the Rings. Alright, let's lower our throttle a bit because we're going a little fast. And let's go ahead and change our traffic to normal. Yeah, act of symbolism. Yeah, hitting the towers was definitely an act of stupidity, that's for sure. I don't know if it was stupidity on people from the Middle East or stupidity of people from our government that may have been behind it. So there's a lot of very strong theories out there that our government had a hand in it, but who knows for sure. I don't know if that'll ever be told. I just have a hard time believing that jet fuel can straight take down two huge ass towers. But you never know. I mean, I've seen stories both ways where the jet fuel could melt the steel, and I've seen it where like the jet fuel could never melt the steel. So I don't know. I don't really know what to believe. No, I think we'll just stick with this RNAV landing. It seems pretty straightforward. And this VOR one looks okay, but all right, well, let's see. Let me see if I can change this bitch up here. Let me see our speed. All right, we're still kind of over speeding just a little bit. Let's move the throttle down just a little bit more. Oh, we can also do this too. Let's move these back to auto. That'll help out our speed a little bit. All right, let's see here. Let's go to next. I do not know if we can change this while we're flying. We should be able to. NIA, RNAV. Well, it's got the RNAV in there. Let's stick with the RNAV. All right, yeah. Let's just stick with this. All right, Carbo. Let me see. Let me look at our OFP and see what altitude we should be at coming up here. So the top of descent, according to here, is... So we're good until Genda. The waypoint Genda, and then right after Genda, we should start our descent. Alright, that works for me. So it shouldn't take long to go down to from 16,000 feet to where we need to be at. As long as we're at 3,500 feet for Ohidi. That's looks like a requirement. Oh, actually, never mind. It's 2,000 feet. Kina is 2,000 feet. So, all right. So that's, and that's 2,000. If we were doing the circle, if we were doing the procedure hold for circle here, then that's 3,500 feet. But we can actually be at Ohina. Let's go ahead and change that. But it's only 5 miles. So let's put in... No, that's not what I want. This button over here is what I want to click. Let's put 2,500 in. All right, there we go. Yeah, it's definitely an act of stupidity, that's for sure. I remember exactly where I was on that day too. I was on a golf course playing with one of my coworkers, and his brother called us. His brother was our sales manager, and Mitchell was like, never guess what happened. We didn't believe him. We were like on the sixth hole or fifth hole, and we got through the front 9, and we then went into the clubhouse to, you know, see if we could check the news out. And there we saw it, and when we went back out, we started teeing off on the 10th hole, and we could hear like jet fighters like flying overhead. I don't know what type of planes they were. I mean, they were fighter jets, but I believe they were going to the plane that crash landed in Pennsylvania, where we were at. We were in a place called Westminster, Maryland, and that's kind of close to Pennsylvania. It's like an hour and a half from Pennsylvania by car. So I think those fighter planes were flying to, you know, to that destination, trying to intercept that plane. Yeah, that was a crazy day. I remember my girlfriend broke up with me like 2 weeks before that happened. Then the planes hit, and the next day she wanted to get back together with me, but I told her she was tainted goods. So, thought about taking her back. She was a lot of fun. I called her Fortune Cookie. That was her nickname. Nowadays, you might be called racist for calling your girlfriend Fortune Cookie, but she was my Fortune Cookie, that's for sure. I don't get all this woke bullshit nowadays. It's crazy how you can get in trouble in some countries for using the wrong pronouns. All right. But yeah, I plan on doing a early morning flight tomorrow morning with the Antonov. I'm gonna finish watching this video from Builds about the Antonov tonight, because I had no idea that those the autopilot buttons are multifunctional. Like there's a button that acts as like LNAV, and then that same button, when you're in a different autopilot mode, that same button acts as like a localizer, you know, to intercept the localizer. And then the vertical speed button acts as a pitch hold, which they use to climb. They use that mode to climb and descend. But then if you're in like if you're trying to capture an ILS, that same button acts as like the glide scope. So it's just crazy. And 90% of the buttons in that plane are in Russian, and I have no idea what they mean. I mean, I can kind of figure it out a little bit by where they're located, but yeah, it's crazy. It's a cool ass plane though, man. That plane is really cool. I came real close to buying the A330 tonight from LFVS, I think but it went from 5 stars. Initially it got like all 5 stars, and now it's down to like 3.5 stars. So I'm like, I'm not buying that plane. Then I was looking at buying, there's actually a new bundle for this turboprop plane, and it comes with one with pontoons, so you can land on the water, and it comes with a regular one, and that thing gets really good remarks, and it's got a really interesting cockpit. So I may wind up getting that plane, but all right, we need to actually begin our descent here pretty soon. Let me plug in the frequency for the VOR. That's 113.8. 0.80. I don't think this thing does top of descent. Now the wind here, this mean wind, I actually typed that in myself from the OFP. Yeah, so it's got the approach. Now, transition is, I don't think I can change those values though. I think when they're in blue like that, I can't change them. Yeah, I can't change that. Okay. I don't know if this thing does top of descent or not, so we are currently, how far out of, how far out are we? I actually don't know how far away we are. Alright, let's plug the METAR in for no valid METAR for our landing. Oh, interesting, and it's not available on Navigraph either. However, Navigraph does have a cool feature where I can plug in the weather, and it will give me, where is the barometric pressure here? Ceiling, visibility, wind, coverage, dew point, METAR. Alright, let's see what it says here. Alright, that's radar. Now what about METAR? Ceiling, visibility, dew point, temperature, no. Cloud cover, air signet, turbulence, reflectivity, cloud cover. Category. Yeah, it's not giving me the METAR either. I might just put it back to just to whatever the standard is, because it's not giving me the METAR information. All right, there's AP. Yeah, this weather thing on Navigraph is not really giving the barometric pressure. Oh, you know, I know where I can look it up actually. Let me go to METAR, METAR/TAF. Usually when I'm flying an Aerofly flight, I'll use this to find what the pressure was for a particular flight. Let's see here, what's the airport again? NZNR. So let's type that in. NZNR. Search. No, not non-resident. God. Autocorrect. Right. VFR. Let's see full METAR and TAF. Close the ad. Let's go to history. There we go, 1025 is what it was at 1600 today. Alright, so I guess we'll just leave the 1025 because that's pretty sure that's what it was at here as well. Alright, progress. Hey, it does have top of descent. I stand corrected. Jesus Christ. I said it again last night. I'm going to say it again tonight. I am an idiot. And it seems like I say that at least once on every video. God. I had no idea that this. I've flown this plane a handful of times now. I had no idea it had top of descent in it. You know, maybe it's the Bay 146 that I'm thinking of. I think that plane doesn't do top of descent. Maybe I just forgot that this plane had. Either way, I should have known. Getting old. I tend to forget shit quickly now. I'm getting to be an old man. All right, let's click here. Let's go to normal procedures. excuse me, landing elevation is... We can turn the weather off now. Landing elevation is... it's only 6 feet. It's interesting. I didn't realize it was so close to sea level, because sometimes here it's got big mountains and stuff like that. Hey look, Todd's here. Top of descent Todd. Alright, let's plug in. I guess we'll plug in the 2,500 feet that we need to go down to. Now, if I remember in this plane correctly, if I was to click VNAV now, it doesn't arm VNAV. It actually starts descending down per, you know, per the navigation. Like it'll like, so yeah, we'll wait and click VNAV when we get a little bit closer. We got about 10 more miles. I was doing a bush trip over here in New Zealand yesterday or Thursday night. I forget exactly when I did it, but man, the mountain ranges and shit, man, it was so gorgeous, man. Like, I know New Zealand's pretty. You can thank the Hobbit movies and Lord of the Ring movies for that. They showed off a lot of New Zealand. But, yeah, man, it was awesome flying over some of those mountain ranges. I never knew Chile in South America, or Chile, had like really cool mountain ranges too, like with snow caps, and like I know it's close to Antarctica, sort of. Like it's the last big landmass I think before Antarctica, but like I had no idea that they had huge like snow-covered mountains and big glaciers up top there, and it's pretty cool. Alright, let's zoomy a little bit. And we'll click VNAV when we're pretty much right on top of Todd. Todd likes it when you push VNAV when you're on top of him, so. Todd is a power bottom when it comes to VNAV. Alright, I guess we can push VNAV now. We're close enough. Alright, we have begun our descent. Transition again is at 13,000 feet. And since I cannot confirm what the barometric pressure is, I'm just going to go ahead and... Oh, look at that. Okay, well, let me finish that first statement. Since I cannot confirm what barometric pressure is, I'm just going to leave the regular, standard 1013 for the pressure. But I knew this 230 was from the management system. That's cool that it put our constraint what's it called? Altitude in there. This 230, I bet you that is because of the well, maybe not. Oh no, it's got the speeds right there. Okay, never mind. I thought that's from what I programmed in. All right, let's all right, there we go there. Now I wonder if I can adjust the RNP in this plane. See, it's got 1 nautical mile. That's our threshold of error for like the deviation from our like our vertical deviation. I wonder if I can type in the 0.3. I don't think I can because it's in blue. Yeah, you can't change anything when it's in blue. But most of the time when it comes to these type of RNAV landings, like 0.3 is the kind of like the standard for the amount of error you can have when it comes to. All right, landing elevation, we'll leave that on auto. Let's put our decision height in. Decision height is 325. Let's change this. The landing at the airport in Bora Bora, I've done that a couple of times now because that's where I want to go to retire. Like if you'd ask me where I want to retire, it's going to be Bora Bora. I've done this flight a couple of times with it, and like the decision height there, it's like 1,200 feet. So like you're holding this knob in for like, seems like forever, but it only goes up to 999. So all right, so descent checklist is done. Let's go to approach checklist. Seatbelt, landing lights, altimeters, cabin, check. Okay. Before landing, flaps, power management to take off, right? TLU. What is TLU? TLU. Low speed. Wonder what the hell TLU is. Oh, we got to change our on. No, wrong one. Let's click on nav. I don't know what TLU is. I'll have to look that up. Could it be trim? No, it said TLU low speed. Thrust levers, maybe? Maybe that's what TLU stands for, is thrust levers. But I don't know what the U would be, though. Wow, we really got down in altitude quickly, jeez. Let's put on our landing lights, our wing lights. We never turned the seatbelts off. And let's plug in 2,000 feet. There's our airport right there. Now the course we need to fly into this thing is 343, so let's set our heading for 343. Oops. Alright, that's 343, and we need to slow down a bit. We are going a little too fast. Yeah, we should be at 170 right now, according to this. I don't think it has our... Oh, it does have flap speeds. 185 and 150, all right. Let's plug in 1190. Actually, no, let me turn this like I normally do for RNAV landings. Let me put this down to 500. So once it gets to about 500 feet, then I usually take over manual control. All right, let's put some flaps in. Let's put this in takeoff mode for power. And let's move these back up. We should be about 1,100 feet when we get to about 4 miles out. We are 5 miles from FF34. And that's where we need to be at about 1,100 feet, is at FF34. Let's put our landing gear down. All right, we need to go back. We need to start going back down again, man. Why aren't we going down? There we go. Let's put flaps full. There we go. I had to adjust the throttle levers. When I said takeoff power, I thought we needed to move those up again as well, but looks like we don't. There's our big, beautiful runway right there. I backed up my view quite a bit because I want to hit this autopilot button disconnect twice. Once disconnects it and the other second one turns the beeping off. All right, I think we're close enough. Let's disconnect the autopilot and see if we can ride this thing in on the way home. Oh, that is very interesting that the CDI indicator is actually lining up like a VOR. Oh, you know what? I did plug in the VOR information, but I didn't put in a course though. So it's probably not showing the correct info.
500. Approaching decision height. Decision height. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Yay, we're on the ground, yay! Well, let's actually park and shut this plane down. I don't think I've ever done that before. Since we had a good landing. Let's actually shut the plane down tonight. Saturday night, let's live on the wild side a little bit, right? I mean, how wild is your Saturday night if you're sitting here watching me, right? How wild's my Saturday night that I'm actually doing this? When you're a single parent with 2 kids, you don't really have many wild Saturday nights while they're still around. No toga parties at my house for any time soon. That was a fun little flight. I'm glad I did this. I was gonna do another another video, but this was, I like this flight. This flight was pretty cool. Well, I don't know where I should park. There's so many planes here. Yeah, what's that little plane over there? Let's go look over there and see what kind of plane that is. Oh, I missed our parking spot. Wonder if I can back up. Sure enough. Hey, should I back the plane into the gate? All right, parking brake is on. Let's put you in idle. All right, and we'll use the main checklist. All right, after landing, and we'll do the evaluation mode.
Weather radar. Standby. Flight controls. Locked. Flaps. 0 degrees. Trims 3 axis. Reset. Landing and strobe lights. Off. Anti-dash/de-icing. Off. Engine start rotary switch. Off. Probes heating. Off. Transformer rectifier unit TRU. Off. Condition lever 1. Feather, then fuel shutoff. Parking brake. Engaged. Takeoff and taxi lights. Off. Condition lever 2. Feather. Beacon lights. On. Transponder.
Transponder is standby.
Standby. Tail prop. In position. Seatbelt signs. Off.
Now let's open the doors for the people. Let's put the wheel chocks in. And let's open up the main door, the cargo door, the service door, and get ground power over here just in case.
Oxygen main supply. Off. Ice and rain protection. Off. Exterior lights. Off. Emergency exit lights. Disarm. Weather radar. Off. Condition lever 2. Fuel shut off. Fuel pumps 1 plus 2. Off. Cockpit door locking system. Off. External power. Off. Battery master switch. Off.
There we have it. We are all done. We landed. We didn't get the travel log or whatever it is afterwards, but that's all. It's okay. So that's it for the show. That's it for the show tonight. So hopefully you have a good rest of the Saturday night. I will be back tomorrow morning with the Antonov, and I'm gonna go out for vengeance tomorrow morning. They say vengeance is best served cold. Well, vengeance is best going to be served leaving BWI Airport tomorrow in the morning, because that's where that bitch crash landed from some phantom imaginary pothole that was on the runway. So we're going to try it again tomorrow morning, and we're just going to do a little flight. So, well, maybe we'll do BWI. Maybe we'll do a different airport. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, that's about it. Be good to me. Be good to yourself. Be good to other people. Please click the like, subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff to help me out. It doesn't cost you a thing to do. And it only takes a brief moment of your time to do it. So, until we see each other again, my friends, over the beautiful skies of Mother Earth, this is your internet pilot signing off. See ya.